After 3 consecutive victories against USC, UCLA fell to the Trojans 42-21 Saturday at the Coliseum. Joined with Chris Foster, his last video with the Los Angeles Times after he filed his final story. I'm Lindsay Theory, and Chris, did you expect this one? I don't think you did. Josh Rosen and the Bruins going down.
Well, it's cold out tonight, so I'm happy I wasn't in Vegas following my earlier instinct that UCLA was going to win this one by a couple touchdowns. I'd be sleeping outside tonight. So it did kind of surprise me. I thought UCLA was ready for this game. Obviously, USC had another gear to them that nobody and UCLA was
Nobody
expecting.
expected.
No, I didn't expect it over there. Neither did people at UCLA. And so the UCLA kind of got battered around today.
Josh Rosen has had a phenomenal freshman season, 245 passes without an interception. What did USC do to him tonight?
Well, they just played a basic defense. They have the speed in their secondary to play man-to-man against UCLA receivers. They have closing speed, so the passes he was completing for the last 2.5 months were not there today. They would catch up and they knocked the ball away. And it just really was a lesson for a freshman that there's another level of college football that he's got to learn to deal with.
UCLA has been more physical. They've been tougher than USC for 3 seasons. We've written about it several times. Tonight, they got beat up by USC.
Yes, I think the injuries really caught up with UCLA in the end. They were not as tough a team as when they started the season. Everybody's been exploited with the running game. USC certainly did a lot of that. And, it was just, it was their time. That's the thing. I know a couple years ago, Jim Morris shouted, "We own this town" here at the Coliseum. In actuality, in a rivalry, you only rent a town for a while. And they've had it for 3 years, and now USC has the lease.
Still 1 game left in this season for UCLA after losing the Pac-12 South title to USC. How do you think they'll do in that bowl game? And what do you think the future of this UCLA staff is?
Well, how they'll do in the bowl game, that's always an interesting question. It depends on how they come out of this. In Morris' first year, they didn't come out of the last couple losses to Stanford very well at all and got cuffed around pretty good by Baylor. The last 2 years, they've had a pretty good mindset going to the bowl game, and they won. So I guess we'll see, or most people will see, I won't, when they start practicing what kind of mood they're in. As for the staff, well, a lot of guys' contracts are up. A lot of guys could move on. I know Noel Mazzoni's one of them that his contract's up. They've set a lot of records over the last few years, but change is always inevitable.
So USC defeats UCLA for the first time in 3 seasons. They'll go to the Pac-12 Conference Championship game. Meanwhile, UCLA will wait to hear what bowl game they're headed to. With Chris Foster one final time, I'm Lindsay Theory for the Los Angeles Times.